Mrs. Woosley, this is my audience. And now I shall begin. Okay, so today the purpose of this PowerPoint slide and my public speaking assignment is to teach you a little bit about Jimmy Valvano, why he was a great American speaker. And I will start with my intro. Jimmy Valvano was born on March 10th in 1946, way before all of you, way before me as well, in Queens, New York. Has anybody ever been to New York?
No.
Impressive. Okay, James Valvano was first known for being a big-time college basketball coach, which is a big dream of mine if you haven't noticed. Okay, he played at Rutgers University. Does anybody know where that is?
New York.
New York. Okay, so New York is popular for Jimmy Valvano. He was famous for winning the national championship where he coached at North Carolina State. Anybody know where that is? North Carolina? Okay, good. You're on top of things.
Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill, okay? And he played against the Houston Cougars, is what they were called, okay, when he won the championship. Jimmy V is also famous because at the ESPY Awards in 1993, he introduced what is now called the Jimmy V Foundation, which is famous for cancer research. Okay? So that just introduces Jimmy Valvano just a little bit, and now we're going to go into a little bit of his background and why he was a great public speaker. So he was the head coach of North Carolina State for many years. He won Coach of the Year in 1989. Okay, so that was the year before I was born. So I was impressed. I wish I would have known the guy. And then also he won the ACC tournament, which was in 1983, the same year that he won the national championship, in 1987. So while he played, before he was at North Carolina State University, he played at Rutgers University. He earned his degree in English. Jimmy Valvano was, okay, that's what we're talking about. I'm ready to move on. Okay, now we're going to get into a little bit more about Jimmy Valvano. So he was diagnosed with bone cancer in June of 1992. So bone cancer, back in those days, they didn't have a lot of research for it. They struggled to find cures for it. I still don't believe they have a full cure for it, but they have ways to treat it a lot better than they do now. So Jimmy Valvano, from his doctor, was given a year to live. He was one of the fighters, you know, he believed in doing everything he could for many different people while he was diagnosed so he could make the better out of everybody. So he partnered with ESPN, like I said, in 1993 and introduced the Jimmy V Foundation. As you can see right here, you got the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Jimmy Valvano was very intrigued to find a cure in the short time that he was living after he was diagnosed. But it obviously didn't happen because we still don't have one today. Okay, I'm ready. And now we're going to talk about why his speech was so impactful at the ESPYs. So, if you're into sports at all, the ESPYs Awards is where they talk about huge sports people. You know, they give them out awards for being good at sports or being an upstanding citizen in the sports world. And Jimmy Valvano was one of those. So he was as a coach, he did a nice job because his players respected him because he always had a winning program. And then his players never disrespected him by any means because his presence about him, you know, he was prepared for practice, he was always ready to go, and he was always prepared for the games. He demanded his players' attention, so when he talked, his players listened. Let's see. So his coaching background, his family's full of coaches. And I believe that's what helped him be a successful coach and also a speaker. When he spoke to his team, they listened. And then as a public speaker. So while he was public speaking, I believe at the ESPYs, he was dressed in a suit and he had cancer at the time. So, and hours before Dickie V said that he was on his hospital bed and he could barely get out of bed. So it was very impressive for him to get in the suit and go to the ESPY Awards and be able to do the speech that he gave for 13 minutes. So like I said, his appearance. So when he talked, he had a pitch to his voice. He made sure the audience, everybody was looking at him. You know, there was a cameraman at the back saying he had 30 seconds left, and he brushed him off and said, "I have tumors all over my body, why would I care that there's 30 seconds left on the camera?" So, and that was just another thing that kept his audience on point to what he was saying. And then, that's what I just said right there. And then right now, this is a little pie chart that I made. I just said reason why Jimmy V was a great speaker. So he liked to talk about things that applied to his audience. So he would talk about his own personal life story, which would get people intrigued on what he was speaking about. So like I said, the audience would be astounded by what he was saying. He would address his audience with humor. He would crack jokes like the tumors all over his body. Not very many people would be able to joke about tumors over their body because he knows he's going to die one day, but he's still trying to do the right thing. So now, if you think about it today, the most famous speech in sports history that I could think of, or anybody that I speak of about sports, is Jimmy Valvano's speech at the ESPY Awards. And that is all I have. Do you guys have any questions?
No.